And we're live. Hopefully. Testing, testing, 1, 2. Just actually load up Twitch. It appears to be working. Right. Let's try this again. Hello and welcome back to the joy of Euro Truck Simulator 2. It's been quite a while since I last did a stream, for a variety of reasons. Mainly due to software issues, hardware issues, illness, laziness, Christmas, othernesses. I have been keeping my hand in by playing quite a bit of American Truck Simulator, and I've actually got way further ahead in that, to the point I own several garages. So I'm not completely out of touch, but it is a bit of a shock to come back and see how much money I still owe in this game. Blimey. Yeah. Am I? Yeah. I've got 3 Oh, I have actually got a couple of other drivers. Marianne and Joseph. Okay, well that's not too bad then. So I was quite worried I was going to come back and it'd just be me. It's been so long I couldn't remember. Right, so haven't played this in really ages. I don't know where I'm in the world. Oh, I'm in Cambridge. Good. And as you can see, I didn't actually explore that much of it since I started streaming. I really want to get up to kind of Scandinavia and go and see Helsingborg, Malmo, Växjö, which I've been to a couple of times, Gothenburg, Linköping, and all around there. But at the moment, I still haven't seen a lot of the UK either. So I think it's time to probably get a contract and go for it. Oh dear God, 31 hours. That's tempting, because it is quite a lot of money. But I'm not sure I'll be alive by the end of it. Coming on for a relatively short period of time. There it is, Zurich. See, I'd like somewhere towards Northern Europe if possible. Northern Europe, please. It's not going to happen, is it? See, I'm going to do some longer deliveries, but possibly not from the first trip back, especially when I'm starting this late at night with my stream and I'm trying to remember how to drive on the left hand side of the road. There's not a lot of jobs in the freight market, annoyingly either, so that's not great. How long is that? 26 hours. 14 hours. 14 hours. I'd ideally like something around 10 hours or so. But I really don't want to go down to the south of France again. I've been there. And also, some of these jobs are remarkably cheap. Sod it. Let's deliver some coconut milk to Cologne. Because why not? It's good to be back in my old Volvo. Quickly grab a bit of a drink first. Right, so lights are on. This one hasn't got a window at the back. See, weirdly enough, having got into American Truck Simulator, the first truck I bought in that was a Volvo. Because why not? So instead of going for like a Kenworth or a Peterbilt or the new, what are they called, Intercontinentals? I think, Internationals, something like that. I ended up buying a Volvo, which turned out to be a really good truck and is now quite upgraded. I will do some American Truck Sim streams at some point soon. I still haven't figured out when you're meant to turn right on a red light and when you're not yet. I either spend my time sitting there at a junction only to watch someone else just turn right before the lights go to green, or I go through it and then get fined. It would appear that the rules are, in fact, completely random, which is nice. Yeah, I think the last time I actually played Euro Truck Simulator and worked on building the Badger Haulage network was not long. It was either during the I think Redmond campaign or just after it. It's probably during it, finishing it off, which was definitely a good event. Over Christmas, SCS did run a Christmas giving contest, which I should have streamed, but unfortunately didn't get a chance to, where you were actually delivering Christmas presents, which I did manage to do the required deliveries to get some special paint jobs and things. So that's been nice. It's also been quite nice streaming American radio stations and traversing some of the unusual scenery. I mean, one of the joys of America is that because it is so ridiculously massive, you do get to go from the kind of woods and hills in the northwest, mountain regions, deserts, all sorts. And there is something particularly kind of iconic about driving a big American truck across a long desert road. But having said that, I would only make progress in this game when I was streaming. It is time to get back to the European grind. And at some point go and fill up with petrol. Right, so we're going to Postbid in Cologne. I've got quite a while before the next rest stop at least. I will need to stop for fuel fairly shortly. 10 hours and 50. So I might just make it without having to do a rest stop. Come on, you lot. So I haven't really been talking about any of the Euro Truck or ETS truck news. I do blog about it on onlineraceDriver.com, but there has been some really interesting news. So SCS have revealed that they're going to be releasing 2 new expansion packs, one for ETS2, one for ATS. American Truck Simulator will be Utah, a part of the world that I know nothing about, so that'll be quite fun. And for European Truck Simulator 2, we're going to be going to the Balearic Peninsula. Balearics, I think it is. Basically Spain and mountains and stuffs. So that's going to be quite cool. Again, not somewhere I'm particularly familiar with in real life or in games, so it's always good fun to go and visit somewhere new, see new landmarks, discover new areas. But I'm not as excited by that as I am about the free updates that are coming to the main games. Because while you might expect, you know, the occasional graphical update, etc., one of the really big things coming is enhanced audio. So they're going to be using a new audio engine, the name of which I have completely forgotten to check before I started streaming, and now can't remember. But it's the same one that's used in quite a lot of big titles, so, you know, think of your Forzas and your Project Cars and games that don't involve driving. And they probably use the same audio engine, which means all of the sounds will be a lot nicer. Particularly external sounds. So when you got your window down, you'll be able to actually hear stuff happening outside. Where are you going with your cable reels? Yeah, so you'll be able to hear birds tweeting and wind rustling through trees and whatever, which I think is actually really cool. It's one of those things that I get very immersed in my truck sim games. You know, unfortunately it's not quite the same as being a cab driving along, but you know, it's pretty close considering I'm sat in front of a PC with a joypad. It's surprisingly immersive. But one of the things that does occasionally detract from it is the audio. I mean, the horns are a bit pussy. The engine noise is alright, you know, it does the job. But you don't get any other sounds like you would when you wind down the window and stick your head out, particularly, you know. And I really like the idea that when you stop somewhere, you might be able to actually stick your head out window and just listen to the wind rustling through the trees and stuff as you're parking up for the night. That just seems really cool. The other thing they recently did, they've improved the workflow for Blender, which is a 3D software editing tool which is far too complicated for me to ever actually use, but it's for people that want to create assets and mod the game. So they've made that even better and easier to use and made it simpler to integrate what you do with the truck simulator games, which again isn't something as necessarily headline grabbing as a new truck or a new map, but actually in the long run it's far more useful. When you think about all the amazing mods that are out there, making it even easier and quicker and better for people to mod stuff is going to mean even more cool things being added to the game without the relatively small SCS team having to do it all themselves manually. So yeah, I reckon this is going to be a good year for truck sims. We've kind of gone through the kind of DirectX upgrades and things like that, and got ATS and ETS to kind of in sync with each other, and now they can actually move forward. I'd still like to see an update to the UK, and particularly proper junctions, but you know, I can live without that for a little bit longer. Yeah, nice cruising. Also, if this is a World of Trucks external contract, this means I'm going to be limited to 56 mile an hour, isn't it? I get kind of why they do it, and it means, you know, you have some parity for doing challenges and things like that. Still slightly annoying sometimes when you just want to be going a few mile an hour faster. I've got a whole 4 miles an hour I could be using legally. Oh, I'm not going to get past him now, am I? Am I? No, let's not chance it. Let's not cock it up on our first delivery. Oh, he's going off anyway. This is so much more of a gradual turn than it is in real life. The actual M11 M25 junction is actually really quite tight. It's one of the most fun bits about doing this journey. If you've ever watched any of my streams or videos on YouTube, you'll know that I'm very familiar with the A14, M11, M25, A2, M2 route, or M2A2, and I'm still highly amused at the fact that you've got a fairly, reasonably placed interpretation of the Medway towns over there, although quite a bit smaller than in real life. But somehow we appear to have missed the Dartford crossing, which is fairly noticeable. You have to work quite hard to avoid noticing it on the trip. Like, maybe be unconscious. I also find it quite hard to remember now that I haven't got two front mirrors on this one, because I've mounted two on the front of my American truck Volvo, which does make life a little easier. The other big difference is that this truck doesn't have a sticky out bit at the front. Driving like the Kenworths and Peterbilts and things, you suddenly realise A, it's a bit of a pain having a big engine at the front, because obviously that does affect your parking and manoeuvring, but also there's no mirror to judge it, whereas this, flat up front, nice and compact, and yet I actually have a mirror so I can see when I'm about to pile in something. International trucking paradoxes. Things I thought I'd never hear myself talk about. How much fuel have I actually got here? 165 miles, and I've got 364 to go. I think I probably will need to fill up fairly shortly. In fact, I'll leave it on the fuel screen to remind myself if I run out. Obviously, one of the other things that you do notice, particularly in this being based in the UK, my trucking company, is having to get across the water every ready time you want to go anywhere. I definitely think the next garage I buy in this game is going to be somewhere in mainland Europe. Yep, definitely running out of fuel now, and I'm not sure if there is going to be one before I make it into Europe. So, bugger. Oh. This is a nice sunny day. And I can actually speed now. Breaking the law. hitting the 56 mph limit. I must admit, I've been getting acquainted in the external World of Trucks contract so much. It's really weird now when I actually drive off after doing what? No, 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 you'd stopped. You can wait now. Yeah, it's really weird actually when you drive off after delivering a load with nothing on the back of your truck and suddenly you're doing about 80 down the motorway without even thinking about it. That was a bit of a shock. Did that police car just undertake that lorry? I'm pretty sure you've just broken the law, officer. I mean, you could probably get away here because the lanes are merging, but I'm pretty sure if I'd have done that, you would have pulled me over and shouted at me. Double standards. Right. I'm desperately trying to remember now. Is there a fuel station somewhere near the other end of the Channel Tunnel? Because if not, we might be getting stranded in Europe. We have discovered the Channel Tunnel. God, this has definitely been a while since I've had to go on this. Right, not that one. Not that one. But we can use this one. Slow it down nicely. Ease it on. Just gently roll our way onto the train without getting ourselves wedged anywhere. No, don't decouple it, you womble. Alright, let's not get on the train and leave the trailer behind. It's been a while. Right. To Calais. Ooh. Someone loves my content and is going to design a unique overlay. Thank you. That might make me look unrealistically professional. At least if I have a kind of amateurish, rough and ready design, people know what they're going to get with me. Badly driven vehicles and total gibberish. Okay, let's ease our way around. Back on the right hand side of the road, which shouldn't be too confusing after American Truck Sim. I have been playing a few non-truck related games as well recently. Loads of Wreckfest, which I actually did some streaming predominantly on Facebook with. Really love that game. It's just so much fun being able to smash into people and not get into trouble for it, for a change. So I've gone through and got all the Steam achievements and played a lot of single player, fair bit of multiplayer, won some races even in it. I'm hoping they'll bring up some new content for it soon. In the meantime, there are some mods I'm going to check out for it, so I will probably start streaming that in a regular slot once a week. I'm also going to actually start up some kind of streaming schedule soon. And I've set up a PayPal account for any donations should anyone want to contribute to a new microphone, because I badly need one, and towards the other equipment I want to invest in this year, including a decent wheel and pedal setup, and then I'll probably even invest in a decent webcam or two. One so you can see my feet dancing on the pedals in proper streaming racer style, and so I can watch as I completely make a hash doing heel and toe braking, and one so you can see my ugly mug as I recoil in horror, causing a pile up in iRacing or something along those lines. Speaking of which, I've been getting back into iRacing a bit again. I kind of took a bit of a break, particularly over Christmas. That'll teach me to get distracted. And didn't really touch it for a while. And over the last few days I've started easing my way back into races again. And yeah, it's still a little bit challenging for me at the moment. I'm still not exactly competing for wins all the time, but it's still a lot of fun. It's still something that I want to get better and better at and keep persevering at. I've signed up during the Christmas sales they had on membership for I think 2 years now, so I've got plenty of time to get better. Oh, we're going on to new roads. Are we? No. Damn it. So expect to see some iRacing coming up soon. Oh, I see a fuel stop. Praise the Lord. And I've also been playing a bit of Dirt Rally, because that was something that I didn't play enough of at the time it came out, and then having picked it up in a Humble Bundle freebie, I've been really enjoying it again. And if I'm right, it's the last or most recent game to have had an official version of the Pikes Peak course. So I will be streaming that very soon. I've gone the wrong way. Sure, I'm not used to talking while I drive anymore. And for some reason, it's a lot harder to stream and talk than it is to talk if I'm driving a real car. I don't know why. Oh god, is there there's a queue for petrol. No, he just didn't want to use the second pump. What? Why? What's wrong with this one? Look. I don't know why he didn't want to use this pump. Weirdo. Right, there we go. Plenty of fuel. But yeah, don't worry about me, mate. Just, you know, drove straight across me. No indicators. It's fine. Muppet. Now you're going to get my way when I want to pull on here, aren't you? And go really slowly so I can't actually merge properly. No, no. It was actually better than I was expecting. Oh no, he has gone mad. Or she. You're just weaving between lanes now. Lunatic. Yep. I would not be driving past that truck for a bit, because I think they're having a bit of a moment. Right, we have achieved our maximum cruising speed. I'd say the only real difference between streaming and not streaming for me is not being able to listen to music on the radio. I haven't actually checked if it's in ETS, but in ETS I've been spending a lot of time listening to KNAC, or KNAC, which was a heavy metal station that used to broadcast in Los Angeles, that closed down several years ago, but then returned, run by fans, as an internet-only station. And it's got lots of kind of your cheesy classic metal, which is perfect when you're driving a truck across America. I can still remember when they were talking about, I think it was Test Drive Unlimited 2? It was either the sequel or the first Test Drive Unlimited. They talked about, you can listen to streaming radio in the game. I remember being incredibly excited by that. It seemed like a new interactive thing that was cutting edge technology at the time. Now, after playing Euro Truck Sim for a while, yeah, just expect it now. Yeah, that was also the time when you could actually listen to your own music in games on the Xbox, I seem to remember. I haven't really been playing much of the Xbox recently. I've been playing a bit of Forza, and a bit of, which Borderlands is it? Borderlands 2? And that's been about it. I've kind of been building up lists of games that I'm looking forward to and games I want to start playing. But I've been kind of holding off for a bit, because I want to try and focus on finishing some of the games I've got, spending a bit more time working on things like streaming to get it a bit more, I was going to say professional, but I think I'll settle for competent at this point. And then invest in some new titles to play. And also finally pick up the last expansion packs for Euro Truck and ETS. I think it's just that weird period as well, particularly with console gaming, where you've got the new consoles being announced with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, but no one quite knows what's going to happen with them yet, which games are going to be exclusives, how much exactly they're going to cost, and all those kind of things. So it's a weird kind of holding pattern of, do I want to buy a game now, or do I want to wait and see? And am I going to bother buying one of the new consoles around launch time, or will I just spend it on PC games instead? Because I don't really feel like my PC is not going to keep me entertained or be graphically competent enough. It's still only about 6 months old, so or a little bit older. And I haven't really found its shortcomings yet. Which is good, because I've just ended up having to help my son get a very similar one. Both of them were ordered from Chill Blast, who I can recommend, and doesn't support me in any way, so it's completely unbiased. Both have Ryzen 5 GPUs, but mine's just slightly better. Annoyingly, I went for a better GPU, better graphics card, more memory, all the kind of, sensible stuff, and decided to try and save money by not investing in any of the kind of accessory type stuff. So I don't have a light up keyboard, I don't have a light up mouse, I do not have lots and lots of flashing lights on the front of my PC. My son, being a lot younger and more fun, wanted lights. That I think was his main criteria for buying and choosing a PC. And after going around and setting up and looking at it for a bit, yeah, I'm kind of thinking I need to buy some lights now. His PC is probably... If you look at them side by side, his case and lights and everything, his PC looks cooler than mine, even if I know mine's better. Obviously, as a caring, supportive father, I now need to go out and buy a ridiculous amount of lights. Hit the cruise control, and immediately hit roadworks. Well, we're into the last 3 hours of the trip. And I should just about make it, I think, before I need nap time, which is handy. Although I might just have a quick snooze before I finish for the night. It's always nice to be fully rested when you fire up the game, so you can get straight on with doing a delivery and not having to find a parking space immediately to have a kip for 2 days. And there is something wonderful as well about getting to that point. When you've bought your first truck, you've got your first couple of employees driving their own trucks, and your payments are more than the loan repayments. You're bringing in more profit. So you know that even if you're having a snooze and a lay-by, when you wake up you've actually got more money than when you went to sleep. I reached that stage pretty early on in ETS. So I'm looking forward to doing it. It's kind of one of those things that you look forward to doing it because then you know that you don't have to worry about speeding tickets or anything else. But at the same time, it's a little bit sad because when it comes to kind of the single player challenge, that's the only real one in the game. Everything else is kind of more self-imposed. I mean, obviously you need to get all the achievements, and discover all the map, and all that kind of stuff. But if you're just mucking around, and you're not trying to get all the World of Trucks achievements as well for doing a set amount of deliveries in a certain time and things like that, then there's nothing that, you kind of have to do. You can just chill, which, is obviously what some people want. It just feels a bit weird. I think I'm so used to kind of strict formats of gaming, particularly on console, where you're constantly being tasked with something you have to do and you can't stray from it. The idea of, essentially finishing the kind of forced single player challengey element in the first few hours and then spending the rest of your life just doing self-imposed challenges or having fun. It's kind of a very much PC thing, outside of kind of Minecraft. And even then, Minecraft's got a lot of single-player challenges if you are going to go for it all, and kill a dragon and visit the netherworld and everything, so it's a very different mindset. It's what I'm trying to embrace. I've downloaded a couple of other simulators and things like that, but I'm trying to learn how to play well enough to actually stream at some point. Please don't hit me. Thank you. I've gone from thinking driving simulators were kind of on the edge of what I want to do, and that maybe I'm not quite serious enough to do race sims, to now downloading plane simulators. I won't be streaming them for quite a while because so far my flight time has lasted about 2 minutes before I stalled it, I think. Something went wrong and I died in a big plane crash. Sorry, I didn't realise it's another splitty one. Ready splitting junctions? I haven't driven in Europe for a while now, but next time I go, I'm definitely going to pay more attention to the junctions and see if they are all like this. Because UK junctions, you don't just get a lane suddenly veer off towards another city generally. Those are quite unusual. Oh, it's a nice bridge. I know I've been here before looking at the map, but I don't know the European map well enough yet to have got bored of it. I have to say I'm looking to the new expansions, because one of the things that is very apparent when you play ETS, particularly compared to like some of the older areas in ETS, is how much more lived in they feel, with, you know, graffiti and rubbish, and the buildings look a bit more lived in and things. And you can certainly see that being applied to the newer map packs for ETS 2 as well, so I'm looking forward to the next one coming out. Hmm, 23 miles to go. I always underestimate how long these trips will take. I still can't quite get the maths right. I know times 19 times quicker when you're on the motorways and 3 times quicker when you're in towns, roughly. But I always think I'm doing a trip that will only take sort of half an hour, and it turns out to take, like, this one, what are we on? About 49 minutes, give or take, the faffing around at the start. Right, left for Cologne. Truth that the pronunciation I had to learn for GCSE German was years ago has not stayed with me. we will be taking the Ersterstrasse links. That was definitely orange. Don't find me. I can live with one speeding ticket a journey, but no more. I have a horrible feeling Cologne is one of those ones that's got a really stupid entrance, if it's one of the ones down here. I'm sure I've done deliveries to, I think, one of the buildings here on the right. Might be that chemical works. I remember the turning being a right pain. Hopefully the old postbid isn't so bad. Oh, I knew I'd left that too late. Knew it. I am a very silly, naughty boy, and I'm very sorry. Oh, for crying out loud. That was definitely orange still. Okay, note to self. Stop messing around with the traffic lights. Okay, so I've got left. No, not left yet. But I'm going to go in that lane anyway. And I can stop that van from getting in my way. Lovely, is that a cathedral, I think? I need to have like a guidebook or something nearby so I can say something intelligent about most of these places rather than just desperately trying to remember any facts I can. Ooh. Tugboat. Okay, well, this entrance is alright. This is a lot easier. Guessing we're going in here. Hopefully it'll be a nice easy parking job. Where do you need it? Oh, you're kidding me. Okay. It's not a particularly complicated parking job. Compared to some, but it's just a lot of faffery. I was going to say, and I bet there's a load of stuff right in the way as well. Okay, so I'm basically facing completely the wrong way. So it doesn't really make sense why you'd want me to park it there, to be honest. Is this gonna actually turn enough? Come on. Thought I was going to lose a wing mirror there. Right, I'd like to get this right, just because I don't think I've actually damaged it yet. Not quite straight. I'm going to actually take the liberty of straightening up, even if it does mean I'm reversing back 2 miles. Because it's not often you get the room to actually do that, so... I might even try and do it all inside, which is a bit of a worry for hitting that wall. Have I just hit the wall? I don't think so. Felt like I did for a minute. Maybe ease it out a little bit. Do I look like I want to skip parking the trailer now? I don't know why that always pops up just as you're going to actually finish parking it. I know I take a while, but come on. I'm almost there now. Is that? Have I got it in yet? Come on. Yeah. Look at that. Didn't even use external view. Result. I'm quite pleased with that. It's not a bad return to ETS. And that apparently makes me a skilled worker. What shall I go for? So I'll just go through pretty much the order. Right. How much money do I still owe? 337,000 euros. It's going to be a while before I can buy anything else. In the meantime, though, I'm going to drive straight to a parking spot, park up and rest for a little bit, and then call it a night on my stream for now. But I do intend to stream 1 or 2 more times this week to start making some progress. I can't remember what level I'm actually up to in ETS, but it's probably about 20 something. So I feel like I've neglected this game a bit too much. I'm feeling a bit guilty. So I'm going to make up for that by spending some money on my truck, I think, and upgrading the paint job. I think it might be time to give the bright pink paint scheme a rest for it. I'm ploughing through a whole load of contracts to make some progress and explore some more of the map, and I'm really hoping I can turn left here. Oh no, that's a carriage I can buy. I won't bother trying to sleep there, because for some reason whenever I try it always goes wrong and doesn't seem to want to let me park up and rest. So let's go over here to this maintenance place. I can park here and then kick off the next one by playing around with truck configurations. Lovely. Well, it's definitely good to be back. And now I'm going to sleep. So, thank you for watching. See you again soon.